How does competing in the American Cup compares to competing in other tournaments here in St. Louis or worldwide when it comes to the atmosphere and the intensity of the event?
Well, being here in St. Louis and playing at the St. Louis Chess Club is always such a wonderful experience. This American Cup is very similar to the US Championship, and both tournaments for me are the most important of the year. So being able to prove myself against such worthy competitors in such a strong field here in my hometown is incredible.
It's probably the only one knockout tournament in St. Louis I'm playing, and I like it. I like double eliminating system, so we always have a chance to come back. Yeah, it's very different. It's very different. Unfortunately, I didn't play successfully, and I hope it's my chance to to break bad tradition.
I would say American Cup has become my favorite event. It's my third time playing here. I love that it has different time formats and you get to play one player, it's a match, you get a chance for revenge. I really enjoyed the rapid section of it. That has been my favorite. And it's also great because it's only top 8 players in the country, so it's extremely competitive and it's very enjoyable to be in that room with all the top players.
The atmosphere, I don't think it's too different, but it is more intense because it's a knockout. The only other knockout I've ever played in was the Women's World Cup, or at the time it was the Women's World Championship I played a few times. So you do only have like 2 lives, so obviously there is more pressure and less room for mistakes.
I've never played the American Cup before. This is my first time, so I'm kind of excited for the double elimination format. I think it's also interesting because you get to prep in advance. You're playing with both colors, right? You know who your opponent is going to be like several months in advance. So that makes it different from like the US women's. But I think it's just I think it's a more exciting format. Tie breaks are always fun to watch. I mean, I try to watch like every year, even if I'm not playing. I find it more exhilarating, I think, than other tournaments.
First, I want to say that the first time actually I played in St. Louis was American Cup 2023. And, back then I had no idea how the atmosphere is, and I never actually visited the club. I heard a lot of good things about the club, and I knew that St. Louis is a capital of chess in America. But it was really nice that I started with American Cup. I have a memory. But overall, I think whatever the tournament is in St. Louis, it's usually a very nice atmosphere, like people are friendly here, it's really professional. They treat the players really well. It's like you're really professional athletes, so that's the thing I really love about American Cup or in general. Yeah, so it's really good to be back, and yeah.
I think the American Cup is very comparable to the US Women's Championship in some regards. For me, I do think that the format suits me in that I feel a lot less pressure in the American Cup because it's a match format. So even if I don't do well or if I lose one game, I always have the opportunity to come back in the next game. But of course, that is because in the past few years I have done typically pretty well in the first game. So then the second game there's less stress. So it does depend on result. And maybe this year I'll have the chance to experience the other perspective.
I think the American Cup is a very unique tournament compared to the other major ones that we have here in the US. I like the format, I like the match play. I do think it makes for some very exciting moments. So the 3 American Cups that I've played, they've all been great experiences. And there's something about the head-to-head matchups that I think that are particularly interesting.